Okay, so in a previous video, I did the priming, and now I'm going to show you how to apply your foundation using, I'm gonna talk about two different brushes. So one is a really dense foundation brush, and it's got really like more stiff bristles. For me, because I tend to have larger pores, actually they look pretty decent right now. The skincare has helped that a ton, but I definitely want to really get down in those spots with the foundation. So I really use this. Now, an actual stippling brush. This is from Real Techniques. You see how it's got, you know, a lot more bristles. It's just totally different brush, okay? So this is an actual stippling brush. I tend to use this for blush a lot more often, but it kind of depends on your skin type and kind of what the look you're going for. So if you do have large pores, you may not want to use just this without more of a buffing motion. So you can just kind of play around with it, but you can put the foundation on, I'll show you in a minute, and then you can just stipple it on, okay? But this one is a lot more dense, and I tend to have better use with this one. So I'm gonna show you guys how I use that. So first I'm gonna put a little bit of our medium, it's color correcting tinted moisturizer, and I don't use tons, but I'm just gonna put it on for ease today. I'm just gonna put it on with my fingers, and you can do it however you want. You can use the brushes for this too, so if you wanted to, you can kind of stipple that in as well. It's just going to take away just a little bit of that redness and give it a good base. Some days I just wear tinted moisturizer. I would say most days, actually. This lighting looks weird. I'm not even this red in person. It just really looks like it in this light. So I'm just kind of starting with really light hand of the tinted moisturizer. It'll kind of cancel out some of that red. And what I'm seeing in my natural light coming through the window, and not with that light, it actually has canceled out the red. So you probably can't see. Like, oh, can you see that way? All right. So now that I've got a really light base of that, it really did tone it down quite a bit. So now I'm going to use our foundation. I'm using the MakeSense foundation in tan, and some days I just use it by itself. Some days I mix it with the pearlizer, and I'm going to show you guys how that works. So you just put some on something to mix it up. A lot of people just use the top of the lid to the bottle right now. All right, and then I'm going to put a little bit of my pearlizer, which comes in this. I've had this forever and ever and ever, and there's still some in there. So it's just our liquid highlighter. And so I'll just mix a little bit in there, mix it up. It just gives it a really pretty sheen. It even gives you a little bit more coverage. Okay, so I've got it kind of mixed in, just kind of with my finger on my little palette. And then I'm going to show you. I just wanted to put it because I already had some on my finger. Okay, so now I'm just going to really softly just kind of stipple that in. And it gives you a really nice glow, but great coverage. It's not going to be like super thick coverage, you know, like I wouldn't even consider our super full coverage, but it definitely feels amazing. It's got our skincare in it, and it's just, I've been loving it. So with this brush, I'm just kind of patting it down in there. Now, don't worry about clogging your pores. It's not going to do that. It's just getting it down in there so it gives you a smoother finish. And I don't really take this long to do it usually. With this motion, with this brush, it does take, you know, a tiny bit longer than if you were just going to throw it on with your hands. But if you have skin like I do, you have, you know, some wrinkles, 42, so I've got sunspots and other stuff. You know, in my larger pores, I kind of want to kind of get it down in there so I can kind of buff it to a more dewy finish. All right, so that's one side. So let's say you wanted to use this brush, okay? So the same thing, you're gonna put a little bit on your palette or on your lid or on the back of your hand, however you wanna do it, and you're just kind of stipple that in there. Just load your brush, okay? And then again, you're gonna go up close. I don't know if you can see that, but it's gonna just leave a little bit different. It's a lot softer. It's just a whole different feel. So for most of you, you're probably going to be okay just using this lighter stippling brush. For people like me, I need it to go down a little denser. I won't do the highlighting and all that stuff, but I have a little bit of our translucent powder. I actually have it into a different container. Usually, if I was not doing a video just on this, I would go and do my eyes at this point and let this kind of sit in, kind of let it settle and kind of warm to your skin, that kind of thing. And then I would come back with our translucent powder. I have this poured into a different container, so I can use this really big fluffy brush. And then I just kind of set it a little bit. I don't use tons of powder. I tend to have drier skin. I used to have really dry skin until I figured it out with the skincare. Okay, so that's just the foundation. That's just using two different stippling brushes, the dense one and then this stippling one right here. So I prefer this one just because of my skin type, but your skin type might be totally different. So put in the comments and we'll see if we can't figure out the best brush for you to use and the best method. I love a beauty blender, a moist beauty blender. It really gets down in there too. It does take a while. It seems like it takes a lot longer. So anyway, okay, let us know what questions you have and I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. Okay, bye.